What's the best tool to use for weeding when it comes to market gardening? I see that question or some version of it all the time, and I understand why. Weeding is no fun. No one likes it. You're pulling weeds for hours, and you want to know, is there a better way? Maybe if I just buy that wheel hoe or I just buy that thing or a better technique, will something make my life less miserable? But here's the problem with the question, what's the best tool for weeding? It assumes that you should be weeding. It assumes that weeding is inevitable. Many of the best market gardeners in this space don't have a single best weeding tool. They really try and create a system where they weed as little as possible. And a lot of times, if you look at their farms, they look pretty clean. It's not because they're lucky, but it's because they've built systems that try and control or prevent the weed out of control problem before it starts. Today, I'm breaking down 4 reasons you probably have a weed problem and step-by-step prevention stack that you can put in place so you spend your time planting and harvesting instead of pulling weeds. Let's get into it. Reason number 1, you're solving the wrong problem. There's a mindset in organic gardening, and I think it's become almost dogmatic. Weeding is just part of the job. I think most gardeners assume that. I think most farmers assume that. You accept it, you budget hours for it, you buy tools for it. But what if the real question isn't, how do I weed better? What if the question we all should be asking is, why do I have so many weeds in the first place? That reframe changes everything because if you go upstream before the weeds germinate, before they take hold, you can eliminate most of the problem at the source. Think about this from a business perspective. A factory has a defect showing up on 30% of its products. They wouldn't just hire more inspectors, they'd fix the production line to solve the defect so it never happens in the first place. But on a lot of farms, the default response to weeds is more labor, more hours, more tools. That's the inspector approach. And I get it. When they're out of control, they can take over and absolutely kill a farm and kill a business. But what we should be thinking over time, progressively, is how do I fix the line itself? How do I stop the weeds from growing in the first place? Which brings us to reason number 2. Your soil is a seed bank, and every time you till it, you make a withdrawal. Most growers think weeds come from nowhere. They don't. Every plot of soil contains a huge weed seed bank, thousands of dormant seeds per square foot just waiting for the right conditions to come up, spread their leaves, and kind of ruin your life. And the crazy thing is, we've known this for a while. There's research going back to 1879 when a professor named William Beall at Michigan State University buried bottles of weed seeds in the ground. Scientists have been digging them up periodically ever since, and over 130 years, some of those seeds, they still germinate. Let that sink in. Seeds buried forever essentially will germinate today. But here's the critical detail. Only seeds in the top inch or so, when conditions are just right, will actually sprout. The ones deeper down, they stay dormant unless you somehow bring them up to the surface. And how do you do that? Oh, with tillage. That's exactly what tillage does. It takes the soil down low and everything with it and brings it up to the top. Every time you plow, you rototill a bed, you're bringing a fresh batch of buried seeds up into the germination zone where they can just soak up the water, get some sun, spread those leaves, and again, make your life totally miserable. Research from the University of Maryland confirms this. They found that the techniques offering the greatest soil coverage were most effective at managing the seed bank of weeds over time. Less disturbance, fewer weeds. More disturbances, more weeds. The weeding problem doesn't start when the weeds appear, it starts when you disturb the soil in the first place. Number three, there are 5 layers of prevention, and most farms use one or here's a system that I've seen work across a variety of farms. I call it a prevention stack because each layer compounds the effect of the one before it. Try some of it, try all of it. Layer one, tarps, which help create oculation. Before you plant anything, lay a black silage tarp over the bed, water the soil first. The moisture and warmth encourage dormant weed seeds to germinate under the tarp, and the tarp being black, it blocks the light and it kills the little baby weeds so you don't have to. This is a stale seedbed technique and it's backed by serious research. The University of New Hampshire has found that black tarps combined with cover crops provide nearly complete weed suppression 6 weeks after transplanting. Purdue University tested tarps with onion production and they found that they provided similar weed control to tilling twice with 0 soil disturbance. The beauty of this is the tarp does all the work. You do nothing. It doesn't complain. It doesn't want to take a break. It doesn't smell. You don't have to pay it. It's maybe the best employee you could ever have. Layer 2, minimize tillage as much as possible or go down to none. Once those surface seeds have germinated and died under the tarp, the worst thing you can do is bring up a new batch in its place. If you need to work the soil, go as shallow as possible. A tilter on the surface, a broad fork to aerate without inverting the soil. The goal is to keep that depleted seed bank in the germination zone depleted. Layer 3, the flame weeder. If you pull up the tarp and see a light flush of new germination, one pass with a flame weeder can kill those thread stage weeds without disturbing the soil at all. It does it fast, it does it easy. You're not burning them, you're simply denaturing their cell membranes, and it takes seconds per bed. Super easy and pretty satisfying to watch and to do. Layer 4. It involves more plastic, but this can save you a lot of time. Landscape fabric on long season crops. Crops that sit in beds for months, kale, peppers, tomatoes, are where weeds can often get a foothold. Landscape fabric with planting holes blocks the light and prevents germination around the crop. It's not glamorous. It is plastic, but usually high quality stuff lasts a very long time. The best part is it works. Layer 5, biointensive spacing. When your crops are spaced so the leaves just touch at maturity, the canopy itself blocks light to the soil surface. The crop becomes its own living mulch, and this is one of the simplest, cheapest weed suppression strategies out there. And most growers use this. The ones that don't, they just leave too much space between the plants, and guess who gets the benefit? The weeds. You don't need to use all 5 of these strategies on every bed, but even stacking 2 or 3 of these layers will make a big difference. The farmers that I've talked to who use these types of approaches spend so much less time weeding. Their entire task list boils down to plant, harvest, turn beds over, with the occasional spot weeding. Number 4, when you stop weeding, you start earning. Every hour you spend pulling weeds is another hour you're not planting, harvesting, or selling. That's not a farming problem, that's a revenue problem. Research from UC Davis has measured hand weeding and cilantro production at 238 hours per acre without a weed prevention system. With one, that dropped to under 9 hours. Same crop, same acreage. The difference is staggering. 238 hours versus 9. That's not just incremental improvement, that's a 96% reduction in weeding labor. It is massive, and it'll save you a ton of money and headache. Now, if you scale that to your farm, if you're spending 10 hours a week on weeding during peak season, your effectively hourly rate is probably 25 to 30 bucks an hour. That's $250 to $300 a week you're spending to treat a symptom. Over a 20-week season, you're spending $5,000 to $6,000, not on tools, not on inputs, in your time treating a problem instead of trying to solve a problem from starting in the first place. When you look at prevention, a few silage tarps can cost you a couple $100 and last for years and years. Landscape fabric often pays for itself in one season. These aren't expensive interventions. The expensive choice is actually doing nothing and continuing to weed by hand. This is one case where prevention is much cheaper than treatment every time. The math. Let's do a business breakdown. Add up the hours that you spent weeding last season. Be honest. Multiply that by what your time is worth. Say $30 an hour. That's your annual weeding cost. Now price out a set of silage tarps or a flame weeder. For most small farms, the prevention tools pay for themselves in the first month of labor saved. The move. Before your next planting, pick one bed. Water it. Tarp it for 3 to 4 weeks. Pull the tarp. Count the weeds. Then plant the same crop in a bed that you didn't tarp and compare the two over a full growing cycle. Let the result speak for itself. The mindset. Weeding is not a badge of honor. It's a systems failure. It's a badge of shame. It's the walk of shame in the field. The best farmers aren't tougher than you. It's not like some hardcore thing. The best ones are actually doing less work, doing the hard stuff like weeding. And they do it by building systems that keep problems from showing up in the first place. The great thing about these things is these are cash flow tools, not farming tools. So a lot of times it's systems thinking, not money thinking, buying thinking. Here's what it comes down to. You can spend your seasons fighting weeds, or you can spend one off season building the system to prevent them. Tarps, minimal tillage, flame weeding, fabric, tight spacing. None of it is complicated. None of it is expensive. The question was never, what is the best tool for weeding? The question should be, what systems do I need so I never have to ask that question and weed again? Now, go build a farm business, not just a farm. Thanks for watching. I'm Diego, Diego. This is Modern Grower. If you like it, hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment. And until next time, be nice, be thankful, and do the work.